Aeronautica is a game where you flight planes in an attempt to make horrendous amounts of virtual currency in order to buy other planes, which will quickly devolve into a cycle of takeoff, fly, land, and takeoff until all of your time is eventually consumed in an attempt to further your digital wealth. In this slightly useful guide/walkthrough, I will teach you how to progress through the game and make money the fastest. You spawn at Hampton Fields, the true spawn airport, and you are tasked with the dangerous mission of literally flying to another airport. Very dangerous, I promise you. And I swear if you can't do this simple task, why are you watching this? But anyways, the game becomes available to you after you finish the flight, but not before you make a purchase for ultralight aircraft. I will recommend getting the Remos GX because it's the fastest and speed is very important in the early game. After the tutorial, you enter a phase called the early game. You will be introduced to things such as aircraft condition, which affects the chance that you will have an engine fire, and your speed, and the dealership. Keep in mind that each airport has a unique selection of aircrafts to purchase. You might have to go to another airport to buy an aircraft that you will want. Your first step should be flying the Hampton Island tour 5 to 6 times or so, to gather the required money and WP to take your first big leap, to get a single engine license. To get a single engine license, you must return to Oconee Airport. I probably butchered that, assuming you left it to do something else, and press the training button. After you press the training button, you will be prompted with a note that says you require 0.5 hours or 30 minutes in a single engine plane. Press the train button that appears in the prompt, and you will spawn in a trainer Cessna 172. Fun fact, if you look inside a 172, you will see the letters Neo Warfare, spelling Neo Warfare, it's pretty cool. Your best bet is to either vibe around Oconee Airport, land when you can, and talk in chat or something, or turn the throttle to a speed where the speed indicator is just a little bit above when it turns yellow, and just AFK for 30 minutes. But once you get the required time, you can do the final exam, which requires 1000 WP, and you will have to fly to Clarence Airport. But once you do that, you will lose 1000 WP and you will get a single engine license. Take the leftover funds and buy the fastest single engine plane you can find in your immediate vicinity, which is probably Oconee Airport or Clarence, I don't know. And then you have to fly to Clarence Airport. Clarence has a pretty easy to complete job for single engine aircrafts called Clarence Island Tour. Watch out for the end though. At the end of the tour you have to fly super low and just don't crash and kill yourself. What matters in this job is how fast your aircraft is, so take time to make sure that your aircraft is fast. The best single-engine plane for Clarence Island Tour is the TBM 900. It is located at Roblox Airport, but might not be in stock 100% of the time. Speaking of the TBM 900 can go 330 knots with an impressive maximum range of 138 kilometers. Its capacity of 6 isn't that important for island tours, and this all can be yours with a bit of luck and 3,700 WP. Oh, and I think this is a good time to explain the mechanics of the game. So, the repair mechanics, basically, if your repair falls below like 10% or something, you're probably gonna have an engine fire, and your engine's gonna go kaput, and you're gonna lose thrust and probably crash somewhere. So, repair your planes. Also, if you don't repair your planes fly slower than normal. The dealership mechanics work very strangely. Basically, there's like cycles and stuff, and aircraft with like a non-widespread rarity will have like an X chance of appearing every cycle, and the lowest one is like the Concorde, the SR-71, and the H5 with like a 0.1% chance of appearing every cycle, and they're not even featured on the dealership tab. You can only buy them if they appear. So by the time you like get the TBM 900 and fly a few times, you probably accumulated over 2.5 hours of single engine flight time, which means you can train for multi-engines. Yay! But anyways, your trainer is a Beechcraft Baron 50A, which I have no idea what it is before I actually got it. It's a pretty bad plane with a whopping 100 entire kilometer range, which, may I remind you, is the TBM's range, but worse. But anyways, the strat here is to go at 50% speed, or whatever it is above, just above when the speed indicator turns yellow, for 30 minutes periods at a time, and just AFK. Since you need 1 hour in total for multi-engine aircraft training, you do it 2 times. That should make your life a bit easier. You'll also need some 2000 WP, but I'm not exactly sure. Might be 2, might be 2.5k. So be prepared. Once you get multi-engine aircrafts, the way to progress is kind of like varied from person to person. What I did was I got the F-27 Friendship, and then I grind until I can get the Dash 8 Q400. The Dash 8 offers a 360 knot top speed, 28 passenger max cap, and a 183 kilometer range, allowing it to reach pretty much anywhere on the map. And it also has the ability to land at almost any airport for a mere 9.8 thousand WP. I would just recommend getting the Dash 8 and just sticking with it for the entirety of like your adventures in the multi-engine age. It's not a thing. But anyways, just stick with the Dash 8. There are other options, however, like the C-130 and the Tupolev 114. The C-130 is a slower Dash 8, but it can carry more. So it makes more money, but it's slower. And the knockoff, it's not even a knockoff. It's just a passenger Tu-95, but the Tu-114, you can get it, but you might as well get a jet at that point, because it's literally just a jet substitute that burns more fuel. But anyways, once you have accumulated 3 to 3.5 hours of multi-engine flight experience, you can train for a jet license. You will need to fly for 1.5 hours, or 1 hour and 30 minutes in a jet aircraft. The trainer jet is the CRJ-200. It's a Canadian aircraft. There's a reason why it's called the Canadian Regional Jet, but whatever. I recommend you do the same as the AFK strat for multi-engine, but now just replace the Beechcraft with a CRJ, which burns more fuel, like a lot more fuel. So you have to do it in 20-minute segments now. You will need to pay for 4.5 thousand WP for the license. Oh, and can I just touch upon helicopters for a minute? Nobody likes them. They're not relevant. They don't make money. At least not that much money. They're cheap as hell. And you also need like a 1 hour worth of helicopter training. Like an entire hour. It's pain and suffering. Don't buy them. Or train for them. Just no, don't. Anyways, jet gameplay. Yes, once you have gotten your jet license, you can get access to jets, duh. But anyways, jet gameplay varies from person to person, but I would recommend straight up just grinding to the jet that you want. Alright, just go and grind for that jet, instead of stopping for like a cheaper option like CRJs or the 727, which is 12k. Excuse me, I meant the 737-200. It's a 737, one of the earlier models, and it's 12k, but just don't get it. Alright, it's not worth it. Just grind straight to the jet that you want to get. Jets in common offer faster speeds than propeller aircraft, at the expense of high fuel cost and repair costs. I also recommend flying the Kitesboro route to Anhydro Airport. Okay, I probably screwed that up. I recommend I recommend flying from Kitesboro to Anhydro for the most money and the most relaxed experience. Typically, Boeing aircraft will offer faster, shorter range jet, and Airbus will offer the more slower options but will have extreme fuel efficiency. I recommend you get the Airbus. Or you can just stick with the Tu-114, I don't care. I found the A310 is a very good jet since it has a long range and a decent 482 knot speed combined with a good 44 passenger capacity. But right now I am using the A350, which is pretty much just a big boy A310 in the game. You should also consider getting a jet, like a fighter jet. I don't know, the F-22 or something, to flex on people at spawn, you know? It's funny, trust me. With that being said, however, jets cannot take jobs to fly to certain airports. So, like, no Augustus Island Atoll or like Okune Airport anymore. Just no. Alright, you're not going to be able to fly there anymore. Which is kind of big sad. Anyways, that pretty much concludes what you're gonna experience when you play the game. Here's some other somewhat useless facts. The Concorde, which is officially at Redacted Airport, is actually at Hardin International with a 0.1% chance of spawning. Really cool. You should waste all your time trying to get it. Once you reach 5 hours, you get a plane. Your plane gets an epic status day, which allows you to name your plane. I named my A310 Clear Skies. I have 2 epic status planes, by the way. The other one is the A350. There are also crates around the map which can be collected to craft planes instead of paying for them straight up. Take a look at helicopters, which might become relevant in a few updates. Yes, I just butchered that word. Data will be wiped from this game when it enters beta in the distant future. Aside from the Concorde, the SR-71 and the H-5 are also hidden aircrafts that appear in redacted airports. Trust me, I will tell you if I know where they are, but I can't. Because I don't know where they are. This game uses the metric system. Stop asking. Yes, this game is made by the developers of Neo Warfare X. Apparently, this game also used the similar flying physics system, which was brought over from Neo Warfare X, which got its from Wings World. So I guess kind of like the cycle's complete. We've gone full circle with like the physics and stuff. When you're doing a training, make sure that you land back at the airport you started at and make a full stop before you press end fly. Otherwise, your time will not save. Screw runways. If you really want the money, just take off from the ramp or the taxiway. Alright? Or maybe just the dirt. There's no speed down with taking off from the dirt. And to activate night vision, please don't activate it if you're flying through clouds or at day. Stop asking if this game is made by the same dev as Neo Warfare. Yes, it is. The chat bloody hates it when you do that. And also, chat is pretty fun to be a part of. You know, there's a bunch of pilots and they're like real pilots, and it's funny to read chat or participate in discussions in there. You should try sometimes. But yes, anyways, that's pretty much the entire guide and some useless facts. Take the information in it as you will. Everything is subject to change. I hope you can do a little bit better than me and optimize your experience in the game a little bit more. Yeah, making this guide is a pain. Literally, like, not even freaking, like, An hour after I finished recording this, a new update dropped with a bunch of Soviet and American aircrafts, including the 757, the A321neo, the Tupolev 114, Antonov 255. Yeah, there's just a crap ton of planes now. So yeah, the subject to change part about the guide, I think something has already changed. Probably the Dash 8 got power crept to like hell already. Whatever.